and gentlemen, here we go.
Hey, Mean Gene!
A man that I've introduced many, many times. He is none other than the one, the only, the birthday boy, the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Yes!
The one and only Mean Gene Okerlund joining us now in the BT studios. Mean Gene, how you doing?
Well, I'm a little wet, but better.
You've been standing out in the rain.
I've been worse.
Listen, you've been to the city a lot in your career. You spent a lot of your career on the road.
There's so much history in wrestling in Montreal. I mean, I can go back at least 5 decades with the Rougeaus, the Vachons, the Pat Pattersons, and I mean, it goes on and on and on. Plus that, I'm a big hockey buff.
Oh, amazing.
And Scotty Bowman is my neighbor in Florida, so I see a lot of him.
Get out of town. He brought us very many Stanley Cups, Mr.
Yes,
Bowman.
he did. Yeah. And he was very good and loves this city.
Gene, you're here from, obviously, Montreal Comiccon, which has turned into, a pop culture explosion. And you're such a, you're a big part of pop culture. When I was growing up, it was Saturday afternoons. We had WWF, as it was called at the time. And it was you. You're in our homes, every week. How did you fall into this career?
I hope we didn't impose.
No, not at all.
Coming into the house, I'd probably go right for the liquor cabinet, pour myself a nice refreshment. How did I get into it? Well, Elias, that's a very good question. I'm going to tell you I lost a bet, but that's not the truth. I got into it, and very happily so, kind of waded into it once a week, then twice a week. And finally, I ended up 8 consecutive years of over 300 days a year on the road. And that will test you.
Yeah, and it must be grueling, and if you've got, friends and family who you don't see, that must be a tough life.
It can be. It can be. Thank God for telephones.
Yeah.
And cells made a big difference. But all of that is gone. Right now, I'm kind of the, the emeritus individual that is the kind of the goodwill ambassador.
You're called Mean Gene. Where'd you get that name? How'd you get the nickname Mean Gene?
That came from a very dear, close person, a longtime friend of mine, Jesse the Body Ventura.
The Body Ventura, yes.
Ventura. Very quickly, I will expound on that, how that came up. I was doing an interview with Jesse, and he would always brag, "Oh, I'm taking care of the Rolling Stones. I'm going to be a guard for Arnold Schwarzenegger." He said, "This week I worked with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers." He says, "You know who Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers are?" I says, "I know Tom Petty exactly." He says, "Well, who is he?" I said, "He's a famous race car driver." And Jesse blew up, but the moniker kind of stuck.
Wrestling full of bombastic, big-time personalities, right? Whether it's the Rougeaus and the tag team, the Quebecers, which I remember, or it's Hulk Hogan, or The Undertaker. How do you're interviewing these people, you're with them on stage. How, is it difficult to match that kind of incredible level with a guy like Macho Man Savage?
Well, you don't top him.
Yeah.
You don't top him. I try to feed him and keep the continuity together, and it seems for the most part to work.
I think we all remember you got into the ring as well. Let's talk about that. You've been in the ring not only for dancing, but you beat Mr. Fuji with Hulk Hogan once.
I took a bump here on this deal. What is this?
How many lumps have you taken? How many lumps have you had to take? Because you're always in the action, right? When the chairs go flying, you're often in the line of fire. In the line of fire.
Yeah, there's that Albert Del Rio. He's going to jump me from behind. No ethics at all. But I have taken a few nicks and zings, but I wouldn't trade my lifetime experiences, 47 years right now, for anything.
And you go to these Comic-Cons, these conventions.
Right.
People must flock to you and tell you a similar story to what I told you. Like, how does that feel that you have all these people that still, look to you and have fond memories of you?
I'm going to tell you a crazy thing. At the Comic-Cons, it's basically television people. You don't have film people.
Yeah.
Humphrey Bogart and Cary Grant and Hudson, those guys are all gone.
Rock Hudson's gone, yeah.
But, boy, I'll tell you what, at the time, he's gone now, too. Canadian, I might point out, Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
A big favorite.
Oh, the best.
And it's a lot of the television people that are prominent at these Comic-Cons. I Dream of Jeannie. Who is Batwoman? I can't.
That woman.
Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
No.
Did she play Batman?
No, this
Batwoman?
was she's a little elderly than Michelle.
Listen, Mean Gene, you're here, and I feel like it's not fair that I'm the one doing all the questioning, doing all the asking of the questions. I thought it'd be best if we gave you a mic and you did a post-interview interview with me. You feel up to it?
Well, I can't work without a mic.
Let's get him a mic.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Marc-Antoine here.
Oh,
All right,
Mark,
Mean Gene.
nice. Love it. This is going to come in handy. Elias, I know you work with your associate, and I couldn't help but notice her. How do you feel about working with somebody that attractive? It would bother me.
Well, listen, Joanne, the baby Pez dispenser Vracus, she's a good colleague. But let me tell you, when I get into the ring with her, she knows who's boss, right? And I will bring it the next time we're in the ring.
Okay, and on that subject, Joanne, yeah, right, Tikanis, she's very good. We throw a little Greek out here and there. She has danced before, folks. Now that you're here, I'm kind of, not to detract from our host here and colleague, but you're very pleasant company.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We're so happy that you were able to make it. I heard you got caught in the rain.
Oh, did I ever? What time do we blow out of here?
Well, we blow out of here at 9. What are you doing for the rest of the day?
I'm going to blow out of here at 9.
Okay. Should I let my husband know that we're getting out of here together?
Talk to your husband. That's weird.
Mean Gene, throw us to break. Tell the folks that news is coming up.
Okay, folks, we're going to have to run, but we're going to be back with some exciting things. Right now, let's go to break.